Hello everyone, my name is Shaylee and today I'm going to be talking about sustainability and supply chains. I want to first start out with the definition of sustainability, which comes straight from our textbook, and that is the ability to meet humanity's needs without harming future generations. Today, sustainability actually tops many corporate agendas, and they outline in detail how they're going to try to improve the long-term impact of their actions on communities and the environment. So much so that Coca-Cola and AT&T have even installed a chief sustainability officer in order to solely focus on improving sustainability efforts. A few examples of businesses that focus on sustainability is Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. They are committed to reducing the environmental impacts of its popular K-Cups. Whole Foods, Target, and Walmart no longer sell fish caught in areas subject to overfishing or any manner likely to harm other marine life or habitats. With that being said, sustainability in supply chains involves integrating environmentally and financially viable practices into the complete product or business life cycle. The textbook describes sustainability using the 3 Ps, also known as the triple bottom line. It is essentially just the positive and negative impacts organizations have on the 3 Ps. People includes important stakeholders, which can be employees, customers, suppliers, and any other person influenced or being affected by the organization. The planet can include reducing its carbon footprint, usage of natural resources, toxic materials, removal of waste, and so on. And profit includes anything having to do with the local, national, and international economy. That can be employment, generating innovation, paying taxes, and wealth creation. So really, sustainability means more than being eco-friendly. It also means you're in it for the long haul. I am now going to get into the article that I chose, which is titled Supply Chain Sustainability Sparks Resilience, Recovery, and Growth. It is essentially about how supply chains have been affected since COVID, how organizations have had to adapt, and why sustainability is so critical. Usually, supply chain sustainability is centered around societal contributions, climate change, and driving positive business results, but other things have shined a light on sustainable supply chains since the pandemic, such as risk mitigation and adaptability. The value of sustainability extends to all aspects of the business. 88% of studies found that companies that adhered to social or environmental standards experienced more operational success, with 80% also showing a positive effect on stock performance. Now, sustainable supply chain practices have always played a role in risk management by identifying risks associated with dangerous working conditions, environmental waste, and more, but because of the pandemic, the supply chain leaders need to go deeper and learn how to adapt. Most of the sustainability standards are at a high risk of being compromised in order to meet restrictions caused by COVID. Companies are canceling supplier on-site audits due to travel restrictions, which affects supply chain visibility and due diligence programs. Some manufacturers are trying to maintain operations with less capacity, and procurement teams are rushing to reroute and find alternate sources, so they run the risk of partnering with the wrong suppliers. Now, in order to understand how to counter evolving supply chain risks, it helps to look at it in 4 phases: reaction, resilience, rebound, and the new normal. Reaction is the initial phase in which leaders are focused on employee safety and identifying the most severely impacted supplier. Resilience focuses on establishing and rerouting supply and managing risk trade-offs. The rebound phase uses feedback from sustainability assessments to prepare them for future global challenges. And lastly, the new normal. Even a year later, we still don't know exactly what that looks like, but we do know that sustainable supply chains is paying off for the companies who are getting on board. And for those who committed to change before COVID, have overcome these challenges a bit easier. Sustainable supply chain practices can help companies navigate difficult times by strengthening supplier relations and the overall positive bottom line impact. Now, how does this relate to marketing? I pulled some of the following statements from the textbook. Some people, mainly investors, look at the company's information record on social and environmental responsibility to help them decide which companies to buy from and invest in. Also, companies that have high sustainability efforts usually exhibit high quality management and are usually better equipped to compete in the global environment. It is also said that the most successful companies abide by high standards of business and marketing conduct that serves people's interest. One story in the text was about a successful company called Timberland. They sell shoes, clothing, and gear for people who like the outdoors. And they actually are involved in a lot of green companies around the world. And they put a nutrition label on its shoe boxes, which measures how much renewable energy is used in its facilities and products. And lastly, some questions. Do you think it's important for businesses to have sustainability practices? And do you know or have heard of any successful businesses that have them? And if so, what are they? Thank you guys for taking the time to watch my video, and I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback.